It's a stunning winter's afternoon here in Auckland. It sure doesn't feel like winter. The sky is blue and it's lovely and sunny, really warm, obviously. And the builders next door are as noisy as ever, but there's nothing I can do about it, so please bear with me. I wanted to give an update on my novel writing. Well, I'm actually at the editing stage. So firstly, I met with my writing mentor earlier this week, which was really nice because we've been communicating during lockdown via email and phone calls. And we hadn't had a chance to meet yet because we were paired up right at the start of lockdown. And I've been sending her my draft chapters and she's given me some wonderful feedback, as I've mentioned. Oh, that's so loud. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, she's come back with a lot of really helpful, useful feedback and exercises to dig deeper and refine these chapters. But nothing beats seeing someone face to face and meeting. But nothing beats meeting somebody face to face and actually having a conversation in person. So that was really cool. I loved meeting her, and I was able to talk more about my story, my intentions and ideas for my book, and provide a bit more clarity as to where I was heading with what I had already written that she's seen, because she has only seen the first few chapters. And I became very enthusiastic about a lot of the storylines that happen later on when my when my character is an adult. That prompted my mentor to give me an exercise to do where I look at some of the big pivotal events and scenes that happen later on in the story and review them, looking at the context, what happens just before and just after, with the consideration that we may be able to find another entry point into the story, another opening for the novel, which I'm really excited about because I'd always thought that the storyline would happen in a linear chronology, and that's always led me to getting quite stuck at this earlier stage of the book. And the idea that we could start at a point where there's a much more exciting incident, more of a hook into the story, and then use everything that I've written so far as a kind of more fragmented chronology in flashbacks or however I choose to structure it. And it makes me feel a lot more confident about the story now, because as I've mentioned in many of my previous videos, I've always lacked confidence in the start of my book in terms of engaging the reader. But I've also been very excited about what happens later on. So I need to flip that and make the start of the book more engaging and dynamic for the reader. And it comes back to what I have been saying for a while now, that the novel that I have written that I thought was, I mean, hey, I'm a new writer, so I really have no idea what I'm doing. The novel that I wrote, the story that I wrote, was kind of like a 100,000 word outline. So it's kind of laid out the story end to end, and now I need to pluck out the most dynamic and exciting part of it and then piece the story together around that and tie everything together. So change the whole structure. I'm looking forward to going through this process and seeing what will come out of it. That's my mission for tonight. All right, so I'm going to pick out 4 scenes that I really like. I'm just going to pluck them out of my novel, drop them into separate Word documents, and do a bit of cleaning up based on changes that I've already made earlier in the book that may need to apply to these scenes. And it's been quite a while since I've actually read what I've written, so I'm really looking forward to looking at it with fresh eyes. A while ago I did scene cards where I identified all of the key scenes in the book, in this storyline. I laid them all out so that I could visually see the overall storyline. No sooner had I done that before my cat actually was sick over it, because she's been a bit sick this year. Anyway, I wrote them all up. I typed up as bullet points all of the scene cards. Now I have a bulleted list of all of the scenes, which makes for easy reference. Now I can actually jump to where those scenes are without having to trawl all the way through my novel. So I'm just finding those now. Scene, and I think this has potential to be the beginning of the book. If it was, it would create a lot of work for me to then piece everything together. It would definitely change the entire structure of the storyline if I started at a different point. But it's definitely worth considering. At the very least, it's a much better start to the chapter. I'm taking a break because I needed to charge my laptop, and I'm going to make myself some dinner. Vegetarian sausages tonight. So now I've edited one of the scenes. I'm looking forward to doing 2 or 3 more. I'll probably do 3 more scenes and send them through to my mentor for feedback. But more importantly, this is a great exercise for me to kind of turn things upside down and consider a different approach to the way I'm telling the story. It's not even necessarily changing the story, it's just changing the technique that the story is told in. So I'll do a part 2 video and let you know how I get on with this process and what the outcome is.